Hey guys, welcome back. So I will continue now to play some quicker games. This time I've picked 5+0 time control. We're playing against 2100 player. We have the so-called modern defense here, specifically with the move f4, which I'm not sure if really the most accurate move. Let's try to strike in the center with c5 immediately. Okay, d5. So now I should play d6 or e6. Let's go d6 first. I'm not really sure that it has a huge difference, but we shall figure it out later. Now e6. So yeah, c4. So aren't we just going to get some kind of a Benoni position here? So knight f6 or e7. Both seems fairly logical, but just because I'm a bit playing this faster time control and I'm not entirely familiar with the situation, I will just choose one of them pretty much randomly. But I have one certain idea in mind. So now I want to take on d5. He will take with the c pawn, because if he takes with the e pawn, I'll have this check against the king. And now, if I'm not wrong, I should have a good game with this b5 move, which I think is a very typical motif for this kind of positions, only when the white king is still in the center. So if now, actually I think it's regardless of how white will take this pawn on b5, I will have this tactical strike of knight takes e4 and queen a5 check, which actually I think should work pretty nicely. If the pawn on b5 is not taken, then black is fairly happy. You will have those mobile pawns to advance and kind of chase away the opponent's pieces, the knight and the bishop. So he chose to take on b5. So you see this check on a5 works very well, because I also have the bishop on g7 to eliminate the bishop on b5 whenever I need. So for example, after knight c3 I can take it and take on b5. And if white is choosing not to play knight c3, then I will take the bishop on b5, and I will also deny his right to castle. So it should be fairly good for me. Yeah, this position it's quite interesting because it's material equality, and the question is which kind of bishop is more significant. Is it my light squared bishop or his dark square bishop? And I think this very much depends on the ability of this bishop on c1 to reach some strong square on f6 or h6, but at the time being, this bishop I would say is definitely inferior to mine. So let's continue developing. At the moment the knight might want to reach f6 or b6, depends on his move. Actually, if I would play white here, I think I would be considering maybe playing a move like c4, trying to sacrifice this pawn, but he is offering to go for the endgame, which I actually am very happy to accept his invitation, kind of, because I have this check on a6, and the bishop will be actually very comfortably placed on c4. I think he's going to lose this pawn on d5 practically by force. Let's start with knight f6. So yeah, this pawn is pretty much doomed, because even if it plays rook d1, I can always add another attacker against this pawn. And also the move knight f6, also in some positions I'm threatening to play knight e4 check, and collecting the pawn on c3, which is also a fairly tasty pawn to take. So I really feel like white is in quite a lot of troubles at this point. Okay, knight e2. So now the obvious choice would be just to take the pawn, which is probably what I'm going to do. I can also consider just continue developing, trying to play for the initiative, but that's a fast time control, and in a fast time control usually chess players tend to be slightly more kind of safe in their choices, kind of playing moves which they feel very confident, trying to avoid unclear positions. So for example, right now I really have this urge to sacrifice back the pawn on d6, and if he takes it, trying to play for some initiative, placing my rooks on the second rank and so on. I think it's also not really sacrificing the pawn because I can always take back his pawn. So he played the very sensible move rook e1, and now I want to play the move rook e6, which both defends my pawn on d6, but also preparing the move rook e8, which I think is fairly devastating for him. Now the knight has to go. I think he has to play knight g3, because he has to control this square. And this position is very unpleasant. So these two pawns are weak, but if I exchange all of the rooks, he will take with the king, and I don't think I get anything special by this. So maybe I should be trying to infiltrate his position from the b file. Let's try this. Rook b8 with the idea to play rook b2. Actually, you can play rook b1, right? Yeah, I kind of forgot about this move. Let's play knight b6 because I don't really want to exchange rooks at this point, because I feel like this will minimize my chances of going for some attack. I think he missed this move bishop d3 when he played knight e4. Yeah, now I can actually even trade, but I just want to activate my pieces. So now this kind of moves come to mind. Actually, why not? Let's just... Yeah, I'm kind of short on time. So yeah, this seems like a fairly good move. Yeah, so this move I was worried, but I can just play e5, I think. And everything seems to be covered. Yeah, now what should I take with? Let's take with the pawn. That's a kind of more risky move, but I want to have a pass pawn, and I'm kind of happy with the current position of my other pieces. Yeah, now my pawn is going to be pushed, and against knight d2 I already have some tactics like e3. Can I play e3 right now? Actually, I think I can. Yeah, because if bishop takes, I can exchange rooks and win the piece, I think. So the position is very good for me, but I'm just kind of figuring the time situation is a bit tricky. Yeah, so he can play king d2 at the end of the variation, unfortunately, but I will preserve one pawn, which is still very good for me, because also the bishop against the knight is quite... Oh, I don't have this move. I have to play this. Yeah, I probably had better options than going into this position. I have to activate my king sooner or later. He cannot take the pawn. Oh, he did. Oh, no, now he's just losing. Because I have the outside pass pawn, right? But I have 3 bloody seconds. Come on. Okay, if I manage to win this, it's going to be fantastic. Yeah, it's probably heading towards a draw. Now, come on. Yeah, I had made a draw with 0.1 seconds on the clock. I think I was winning at the end though. Yeah, I just wow, where did I went? I didn't even notice what's going on. Oh yeah, I had the move h6, which I just missed. h6, king g6, and then obviously this is one. But yeah, I'm kind of happy to make this draw with so much so little time on the clock. Yeah, he went for this losing endgame with knight takes c4, but I really had just a very good position of probably winning, but at the time was a bit low. Yeah, playing without increment is difficult, but yeah, hopefully next game we can pick up a game with a more kind of normal time control. So see you guys in the next videos. Bye bye.